Now, you've mentioned Mitt Romney, the owner of Bain Capital, whose strategies around PE and PE investing dominated from around 2003 to 2007. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So Mitt Romney, the person who ran for president against President Obama, or former President Obama, and lost in 2012. There's a chapter in the book called Plunder and Profit, and it demonstrates, I believe, 5 examples where Mitt Romney's firm, Bain Capital, will go into a company, put it in debt, increase the earnings short term, mostly by cuts, take out a dividend against the company. So not only are they putting it in debt, when it's at its earnings peak, then have the company borrow money to pay them a dividend. So when we hear of a dividend, we think of a public company that takes excess cash and pays their shareholders. That's fine. A private equity dividend is typically your earnings at a peak, you borrow more money against it, essentially a second mortgage, and you take the money. Well, once you've increased earnings by making cuts, and at its peak you borrow money again, what often happens is that company will end up failing. And there are 5 cases that I note in the chapter where Bain Capital made a lot of money, I mean a huge amount of money, most of the money Bain made, most of what made Mitt Romney rich, from companies that within 2 or 3 years would end up going bankrupt. So what looks so terrible about it optically, because maybe it is pretty terrible, is he was making fortunes by sucking money out of companies and basically sucking them dry, because a good percentage of these companies, or at least 5 that I know of, which probably means there's 5 or 10 I don't know of, ended up literally collapsing, like KB Toys.
Can you tell us more about KB Toys and what happened?
Sure. In the KB Toys example, they figured that, so buy KB Toys, which at the time was a pretty big chain, not as big as Toys R Us. I think KB was number 2. They bought it, I think, from Big Lots. Anyway, KB Toys, New England chain, but national, but based in New England, start putting debt on it. And while they buy it through a leverage buyout, within a few years they do a dividend, one of these dividends, and then into the market comes Walmart. Walmart starts selling toys. Not good. Walmart will compete on price. Walmart starts selling prices lower than them. For the first year they decide we're going to compete. So they discount their toys to the point that they were competing with Walmart. But Walmart is selling toys to get people into Walmart. KB Toys, it's their business. So that worked for 1 year. They figured that no way they're going to keep this up. Year 2, Walmart does it again. Now KB can't handle it, and KB collapses very quickly. If they didn't have that debt, maybe not even just the original debt, but the second debt from the dividend, they could maybe lower prices for 2 or 3 years, maybe wait Walmart out, at least be more nimble, figure out something. Toys R Us did survive during that time, but they couldn't, and they collapsed.